Hi everyone, this is Esateys. Today we're going to talk about something really interesting. In fact, did the title of this, How to Control Others, intrigue you a little bit? Does it shock you a little bit? Because most of you have been listening to me for a while, you know that I'm really about non-resistance and not controlling and all of that kind of stuff. But I really liked this title because what it does is it gives you an opportunity, and when I say you, I'm really speaking about your ego and your personality. That part of us really loves to control. Let's face it, we're all control freaks. Some people will admit it, some people won't. But to some degree, everyone is wanting to control everything and everyone because that's a deep survival mechanism that comes with the package of humanism. It's what the ego does, it's what the personality does, and you know that I kind of use them interchangeably, although they're not exactly the same thing. But for the purpose of where we're speaking today, we're going to just say that. So here we have a personality, an ego that loves to control. So immediately when you say, how can I control somebody? How cool is that? Then they're usually pretty perked up. Although for those of you that are very spiritually oriented and say, oh, I'm not interested in controlling anyone, maybe you and your core does not. Of course it doesn't. But that personality still has a little bit of something there where we like to feel safe, and control relates to safety. It's that survival thing again. So there's one simple thing that you can do. Stop being reactive. So somebody comes up and says something to you, and you want to just come back at them with, yes, but, or what about you having done this? Or we get into justification. We immediately have a boom, a reaction that is usually attacking, defensive, justifying, somewhere in that department. And what does that do? It engages the battle. Yes! We now have somebody to spar with. The egos are at it. They're enjoying themselves because it kind of gives you a little adrenaline rush and makes you feel like, you know, you're alive and you're not feeling like your life is just like really boring. Instead, we have this trauma thing going on, and that adrenaline helps us feel like we've got purpose. We can fight for our rights. We can do whatever it is we have to do to be right and to get what we want, which is control. Because again, if we're controlling, then we feel the illusion of being safe. So when you're not reactive, there's no battle. When you decide not to be reactive to anyone else, then what occurs is that there is nothing to get into a spar with. The drama goes away. The trauma goes away. The activation of feeling like you need to defend goes away. When there's no defense, there's no battle. When there's no battle, there's peace. Now the ego will almost always say, well, that means that I'm giving in. That is a sign of weakness. I can't do that. Again, we're back into survival. I can't let them think that they won me over and then that they got their way. Well, why not? When you're really in control, you don't care whether someone over there thinks that it's okay or not okay. If they want the win, let them have the illusion that they're winning. You know in your heart and soul that you are actually in control. You actually are in control because you're over here observing how the whole thing's coming down. You're deciding how you're going to be. You're allowing people to have whatever it is that they want. Let them have it. What the heck? The real power is in you being centered in yourself without feeling like you have to battle to get your rights going. It's a pretty interesting thing, actually. So when you just breathe into the situation, and believe me, everyone has some form of trigger, and some triggers are bigger than others, and boom, you might get into that vortex, what I call the vortex of just being very, very reactive. Stop yourself as soon as you catch yourself doing that. Come into the breath, settle into your body, and say, okay, do I really choose to get into a battle which will lower my vibrations, interfere with my good thinking, interfere with the success of what it is that I'm desiring? Or am I going to just be okay with them having their thoughts? Because I will tell you, that's where the power is. The power and the control is you determining how you are going to be in any given situation with any person that you're interacting with. So when you handle it this way, what you find is that people will just back down. It's pretty amazing. And there might be that part of you that says, yes, but they're right. I'm letting them think they're right. Well, look inside and look at that ego piece. So what? Let them have it. I'm going to repeat that because it's important that you recognize that the resistance to someone being in a place where they think they won is going to cause you to lose. Hear me when I say that, because it doesn't give you what it is you're looking for, which ultimately is to feel good and peaceful and centered and loving. And even when you think you don't want to be loving because you're angry, you really do, because that's what's in our core. That's who we are. So I don't care if you're in business, if you're with your family, with your children, with an ex or whomever. Really look at how you can take mastery over how you're going to be with every single given situation and how you can maintain control, because the control is it's really in here. It's inside of oneself. That's how you allow yourself to get the upper hand, if you will. So when you've got that going on, breathe, zip it, stay in a place where you allow it to be there, and when you're really empowered, you'll say, wow, I see that you feel really strongly about that. It's an interesting viewpoint. That's a response rather than a reaction. That's a non-battling answer. Start to look at how you can be with everyone you're with in a non-battling, non-confrontive. Stay in your own control and watch what changes in your life. I don't know if you know, but I'm going to be going to South Africa and Johannesburg, and I'm leaving next week actually, and I'm very excited because I'm going to be speaking at what's called the Tycoons of Wealth. There's going to be about 1,800 people there that I'll be speaking to. I'm very excited. So if you know anyone in Africa, please let them know, or let me know so I can let them know, because they may choose to come to this event. I think that it will completely change their lives, especially around business and relationships. I'm really honored to be able to be there. I also want to ask you to right now, if you're not on my mailing list, get on my mailing list. You can private message me your email. I'll put you on. Or you can go to www.ultimaterelationshipacademy.com, and up the very top there's a place where you can get a free gift, and that will automatically subscribe you, because I've got some things that are coming up in the next several weeks that are going to be off the charts. I have free programs and free things that are going to really support you. And I also have things that will take you deep into yourself. I do private coaching. I do seminars and retreats, and I would love to be with you in person. So reach out, let's connect, and let's see how I can best support you in having the life that you truly love to live. No more struggle, no more stuck, no more fear. Let's take on what it is that you're committed to. Until next time, feel a hug.